Hello and welcome to a very special video. This one now I'm doing as an extra additional video because the channel last night has finally reached the milestone of 1,000 subscribers. Dorian from Hooverlux had put a message on my last video that I did of the Dyson Lightball 6-month review. Congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. But at the time, somebody had obviously unsubscribed because it had gone back down to 999 again. But this morning when I come down and had a look, it's back on 1,000. In fact, it's gone over 1,000 now. So I'm expected to do this unboxing, and there'd been speculation about what machine I was going to get for the grand unboxing for 1,000 subscribers. Now, I'd already done a video and it was going to be released earlier than this, but unfortunately the machine that I got for it was faulty. I'd recorded the video and I'd done the unboxing, and unfortunately when I came to switch it on, after I'd recorded the first part of the video, I was going to do a second part with the switching on and a bit of a demo with it. But before I got a chance to record the second part, I turned it on myself after putting the hose on the machine, and it didn't work. The suction motor worked, but the brush roll motor didn't. And that one was a Hoover Velocity Evo. So back it went to Argos this morning, and I have not had another Hoover to replace it with. I got the machine that I should have got originally, but I had second thoughts of it, and I thought, no, I'm going to get this one. It's about time that I had one of these machines. And by now most people will think, yeah, we know what it is. We know what it is now. So, without further ado, let's get the parcel, let's get the box, and we'll get cracking. There we go. This is the 1,000 subscriber videos unboxing, and I think a lot of people will guess straight away from the brown plain box what this is and think, Mad About Hoovers has got one of those now after everything he said. I think, yeah, he has. I've decided I'm going to give it a try. I've never had one before, never owned one. I've tried one out in Curry's. I've heard so many things about them, about filters, about how they work with the floor head going wrong and this, that and the other, and I thought, well, I've had so many Dysons, it's about time I got a shark. Okay, that's what this is in the box. Yeah, it's a shark, my first one, and I'm never going to live this down, am I? But for the 1,000 video, 1,000 subscribers, I thought, well, to hell with it, we will do it. We'll get one, and at least then I can say that I've had a shark in the collection. If I don't like it, I can always get rid of it later, but we will give it the benefit of the doubt. If I have to clean the filters more regularly, I would have to. So let's get on with it then. So I will move the camera down onto here, and we will attempt to see what we've got in the box. So yes, I was a little bit annoyed with the fact that the one that I'd originally got after I'd done the video, it didn't work, and then I remembered back to Roger's video that he did when he had the Hoover Velocity, the first make of it, and the brush roll motor was very noisy on that as well, and I'm thinking, I wonder if they've got a problem with the brush roll motors on those machines. But that's beside the point now, because it went back. So here we go. The box for the shark is inside here, so I think what we'll have to do is to turn it upside down and lift this off from the top, if we can do that. I don't know why, I'm just wondering why they put the actual vacuum cleaner box itself inside brown packaging like this. I don't know. But there we go. And it's upside down now. So here we go. It's the Shark powered Liftaway. This is the NV681UKT. So this is the one with the quieter motor that's supposed to be 80 decibels. This has only been released a couple of months ago. Well, I think it will maybe a little bit longer than that now. I think, what was it, September last year? Time flies by so quickly, doesn't it? But this is the replacement for the NV680, the Shark powered Liftaway. And this is supposed to have the 80 decibel motor in. So we're going to see how quiet that's going to be. Right, let me just check again that it's in shot. We don't want to be messing this up, do we? No, that's fine. But no, I don't think I need to be showing people what the box looks like. I think you more than likely want to see what's inside it. So let's get on with this. Okie dokie. What have we got first? This is the instruction book, and the obviously you'll have the warranty information in there, so I'll have to read that later. I know roughly how these work anyway, because I have tried them before. It looks like this has been put in upside down in this box. Oh no, it comes separately from the rest of the cleaner. So this here is the power head. Let's just get this out. It's well packaged, I'll say that much. Yeah. So this is obviously the Shark powered Liftaway. It's got the headlights on the front here, and we'll have a closer look a little bit later on, but I'm just basically wanting to get it all out and get it put together first. So yes, that's got the nice chevron brush roll in there with the medium stiff bristles on. Central exit for the dirt from the floor head. I hope the wheels don't squeak. There's a little tiny bit of squeaking coming from the front ones here, but they usually do that. I mean, I can live with that, that's not too bad. The one on the Hoover I got before, the wheels on the back squeaked that loudly, it was so piercing. I thought, what on earth, you know, they didn't bother oiling the wheels. Okay, what have we got next? Right, this is the powered Liftaway hose. We need to take this out gently and carefully. Okie dokie. So that's quite a hefty hose, isn't it? So I suppose the actual power cable goes through here for the power head, and there on the handle we've got a control there between carpet and hard floor, but it doesn't actually switch the machine on from this point though. We've got a suction control there, which is minimum and maximum, so you can vary the suction, which is a good thing. What's that for? Handle release. Ah, right. Okay, so there's the hose. What's next? We have the True Pet turbo tool here, which is very, very similar to most of the turbo tools I've had before. So that's basically a clear plastic top that you can, I would have said, yes, you can pop it open just like so to be able to get access to the brush roll. There's a tiny brush roll on it, mind you. That hasn't come out the way I thought it would come out. Okay, I'll have to have a look at that after the video, because that's when I've opened that up there, that hasn't come apart the way I thought it would come apart. I think the turbine's supposed to go in like that, isn't it? And then the brush roll. Well, I'll have to sort all that out after, basically. I shouldn't really open that there, but I'm sure I'm clever enough to be able to figure out how to put that back together again. At least it does come apart. So what have we got here? This is the Upholstery Tool with the lint lifters on there, front and rear, and it's swivelable as well. That's a bit of a handful to say that, isn't it? Okay, just check on the camera again because I'm going to make sure this is all in shot still. Yeah, it is. What is next out of the box? We have the Shark multi-tool. Now I'm not sure whether I've seen a Shark multi-tool like this before. I'm sure they used to have a separate dusting brush. This is more like the one that I've got on the Dyson Lightball, which has got your crevice tool and your dusting brush built onto it. And obviously you slide the dusting brush exactly the same. Exactly the same as the one on the Dyson Lightball, that is. That's incredible. Okie dokie, so that's the multi-tool. A bit more packaging to come out. And a bit more packaging to come out. Like so. And then what we've got is the handle. Now this is the aluminium, by the feel of this, it's quite lightweight. Okay, so this is what goes on. I would imagine it clips into here, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. So that's the wand for the machine. It's everything with these, it's modular, isn't it? If you have a problem with a certain part, what they do, Shark, normally, is that if something breaks inside here, like the hose rips on there, you end up having to have a complete new floor head for it. It's like they don't sell the individual parts, they sell each part as like a module. So that's a complete floor head, and I think you'd have to buy that as a complete thing, a complete hose. So they're a little bit different, I think, to what Dyson do. And there we go, the final part out of the box. That's the power unit. And we can see now that the box is empty. So let's just move that out of the way. Right. So what I need to do now, I will just have a check of the camera. Can we see that? I'm going to have to basically put the camera on the back of here because I'm going to try assembling this machine now. There we go. So, what we need to do is, I've never actually had a Shark before, so you'll have to just bear with me while I have a look at these now to see how this thing goes together. I've got a rough idea of how it goes together. So we're going to have to unpack the power cable. Keep all these bags, because if this doesn't work, I am going to be so annoyed. If there's something wrong with this, you know, that'll be two machines in a row. So I just have to hope and cross my fingers now. You better behave yourself. I've given you the benefit of the doubt here, Sharks, to be having a Shark in my collection. So, there we go. I'll tell you what though, they do look nice. I'll give them that. It's nice and shiny, it looks well built and well put together. To be quite honest, it's smaller than I thought it would be. This is really actually quite a compact design, this is. Yeah. Powered Liftaway, complete seal, anti-allergen, no loss of suction, motorised brush, blah blah blah, all the sales stuff on the front of it. Shark vacuum cleaner, NV681UKT. It's 750 watt, and the power nozzle is 80 watts. Date code 0218. So this was obviously made in February 2018, judging on that. And we know that it's made in China. All Sharp machines are Chinese. Dyson's a Malaysian. The Hoover I bought yesterday was made in China as well. Okay, I think we have to get used to the fact now that most of the machines you buy these days are all going to be made in China. I suppose that's one reason why I got this for £200, okay, instead of paying 500 odd for a Dyson. But then again, you see, the light ball is £200 as well. For 200 you can either have that or the Dyson light ball. Now I've already got a light ball, so why not try the Shark out? So I think this clips on, so there, like so. That's good. And then the hose, we plug in the hose into the top of the handle, like so. I'll leave the swing tickets on it for the moment, because if it does have to go back, I don't want to be pulling any of these off. And the hose clamps into the back of it. Now one thing that I did read on the reviews that people have put on about this is that this little nipple on here pushes into the little clamp on the back of the handle here. And what people have said is that as they've been vacuuming along, is that this tends to fall out of here. And yeah, I could see how that would be an issue actually. So we're going to have to see about that. Now that presumably plugs into here. Yeah, it does. So I think what we need to do is to actually move this up the hose a little bit so that it's... I wonder why that keeps falling out of there. What I'm trying to do is just to turn this round, if I can, so that it moves it a little bit further up the hose. You know, I have to see how that goes, because some people have said that that does actually fall out when they're going along. But there we go. It's quite a tall machine. There is no way of... Right, so that's how the wand comes out then, and that just falls off of there. There's no way of shortening this wand, I don't think. Right, so that goes in like this, and that comes out like so. So we can use the... So it's not got the longest of hoses, but I suppose you wouldn't really need to have a long hose, because you would pull the liftaway feature like so, and then you carry it around with you. But that's a very useful feature of this, is that you can just put it on the stairs and go up the stairs with it. And when I do a demo on another video, I will try going up the stairs with this, to do with the turbo brush on the end. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn it on, and I'm going to see if it works. That's the first thing I'm going to do, and then we'll have a closer look at it. But what I want to do first is to make sure it comes on. So we just unravel this. I believe it's not got a 10 metre cable, this hasn't. Yeah, it's longer than 6 metres, it's probably maybe 8 metres I think, looking at this. So, let's plug it in over here. And I'm now going to have to cross my fingers, because this is the grand switch on. Right, now is there anywhere on here a cord grip for the handle, sorry, for the cable on the handle? No, there isn't. I suppose that means I'm going to have to hold it as I go along then, isn't it? So let's turn it on. Oh yeah, now that is quiet. Oh, I nearly had a heart attack there. I thought, that's not working, it's not coming on. I've got another one where the brush roll doesn't work. But yeah, you have to control it from the handle on the top here. The on and off switch for the machine's down there, but the brush roll control's on here. That is fantastically quiet. That is about the same level of noise as the Dyson light bulb. It really is about 80 decibels. They're really quieting these things down. When I think of what the, I think it's the NV681UKT they were selling in Argos last year for about the £120 mark. I mean, that was really shrill. It was really shrill. It's one of the reasons why I wouldn't buy a Shark before when they were that noisy. But now that they've made them 80 decibels, this is a considerable difference. It is such a quiet machine. So, the one thing that I would have liked to have seen on here is a cable grip on the handle. I can't see anywhere where you can hold the cable up, otherwise you're having to hold it like this all the while. I mean, it's not a deal breaker, and it's not coming out right down at the bottom, but nevertheless. Never mind, let's just see if the Liftaway feature works on it. So we'll turn it on. That's fantastic. That is really is good cleaner to use. It pulls down onto the floor quite well. When you're pulling it back, it does slightly pull the back wheels off the floor, but it still doesn't lose contact with the carpet. Besides which, anyway, is that I wouldn't be using this in liftaway mode on this carpet. It would be used in standard mode. Right, how much time have we got? 6 minutes. So let's just put the tools on the side of the machine, and then just have a few close-ups of it. I think, yeah, that seems to be, you can slide it up there a bit better and then it goes in. Yeah, that's better. So the multi-tool seems to have its place there, like so, and then the upholstery tool goes on there. Oh, now that fits on like that. Yeah, well, okay. Let's have the camera down then. So the multi-tool, by the looks of things, it can only go on onto the side of here, so that little divot there goes into the brush. But doing that, you are disfiguring the dusting brush here against the side of the case. So I would probably tend to put it on at that angle so that the brush fits better. I mean, it's a good tool. It looks okay, that does. Very similar to the Dyson though, isn't it? To the light bulb, which is over there. So, as we've seen, this machine is very quiet in use. It's 80 decibels, and I am very happy about the noise level that it makes. So we will have a look at the bin here. And that's the Liftaway, so we have to lift it off and put it back on again. How do I get the bin off? Oh, I see. Right, so that has to come off like this. And then we've got the filters, right? This is the filters that does tend to get dirty quite quickly on a Shark. This was one of the big criticisms that I had of them in the past, where I said, you know, after maybe a few uses this starts to accumulate dirt. But what I've seen is that the channel Vacuum Tests, which is Miko's channel, he did some tests on one of these regarding flour, and he was able to pick up so much flour off the floor that it literally clogged this totally, but it still managed to retain most of its suction somehow or other. So I think, you know, these filters can get quite dirty and absorb quite a bit of dirt without losing too much suction, and we're going to have to see how that goes over the next few months, because this machine will be on test, much like the light ball was when I first had that. This is going to be the machine that I use more. Inside there we can see the motor. That's the two filters there. Here's the bin, so we've got the usual cone primary separator in there. That does tend to take up most of the space in the bin, so we can, hang on, let's just undo that, so we can get into the top like so. So any clogs inside there, the actual dirt goes down. There's a little bit of dirt in there now, it's just picked up off the carpet. So the big dirt goes down there. Now that is rather a small chamber, isn't it, in the front of here. It's claimed to be about a 1 litre, so it's only quite small, but I suppose, you know, those there are very small and I empty those every time I use it, so I just have to empty this every time. So there's the top, and then the bottom opens up like this, and then whatever you've got in there will drop out. Okay, that's fine. So I suppose really they've made it quite small and compact, but one of the drawbacks is that the bin isn't very big on it, so you're probably going to end up having to empty that quite often. There's the two filters, so that one goes back in there, the bottom, and that one goes back in there. There's the power head here with the two lights on the front. I don't think that you can, hang on, let's just turn it over. On this one you can't lift the top off. I think with some sharks you can actually lift this cover off, so to get to the brush roll you'd have to do it from underneath, wouldn't you? So yes, there's the base. Yeah, to get to the brush roll you'd have to undo that clip there, and that clip there, and that clip there, and then this sole plate would come off. I'm not going to do it now because we've only got a couple of minutes left before the end of the video. But there you can see there's a reasonably good brush roll in there. Actually they're quite soft, those bristles. I wouldn't have said they were really stiff. Good chevron design there to chevron the dirt into the centre, which is quite good. Now one thing we have to keep an eye on is this hose here, because there's been reports from people that these do rip occasionally. I don't know what the situation is, why they rip there, but they tend to go here on this joint, and I'm going to be keeping my eye on that. So that's that point. Look at them here. So this is the little holder that holds this in, but people have said like that does come out on its own too often. We'll have to see how that goes. Handle releases here, that takes the handle out of the wand. And on the top here you've got your little switch which decides between carpet and hard floor. So basically that switches the brush roll motor on. But the machine switch is here for turning the suction motor on. Inside here, I don't quite know how you get that off at the moment. I'd have to look at the instruction. Oh yeah, you just pull that off at the bottom. And there is the exhaust filter. Oh, you've got two, so there's actually a foam pad in there as well. So that must be for sound deadening, and then the rest of the filters here. Right, so that just pushes back in. Like so, and then this clicks back on from the bottom. And people who know what that sound is, means I'm just about out of time on this. So there we go. That's the unboxing and first look of the Shark powered Liftaway NV681UKT. It comes with the turbo brush there, which I've got to put back together. And the next video we'll be doing should be having a good demonstration of this and giving it a good push round. But it's all working just how we want. And thanks for your time, and I'll see you on the next video.